I believe right now they're having some meals. You can see more is coming out. The small one just came out of the room, only 45 days. The very cutie puppy. Actually, you cannot really tell the difference from the Kangal dogs or to the other herding dogs. Actually, there's no big difference when they were very young. So you cannot really distinguish from the Kangal dogs and the shepherd dogs. And actually, this is the homeland of the Kangal dogs, and it's also their tradition here to feed and breed the Kangal dogs. I believe they are really interested in food. For the Kangal dogs, actually, I can show you some features. Even they're quite small, but how you really distinguish or how you really tell they are different. They are the Kangal dogs. And look at it. So look at their face. You can see it's only a black mask, or you can see a black dot on the face. Here you can see that the black dot. Can you tell? This is the only feature owned by the Kangal dog. So from the nose to the head, that's the black, and you can see the size. Although this cannot really tell that big difference in size in their shape, but you can tell more when you see the adult ones. But as I say, they are very, very different. You always can tell it's the Kangal dogs from that black dots. So this is their breeder. And he cannot really talk in English, and I had a pre-interview with him. It's from this homeland of Kangal, and I believe he's one of the breeders. But here is also lack of talents, actually, because a lot of young generations, they all to the bigger cities for work. And Mr. Yaha, 37 years old, started from last year. He moved to this place to feed Kangal dogs. And he's also had a very strong emotions, some strong links with dogs. Right now it's time in the afternoon, sometimes like around this time, I believe it's a snack or tea time for our Kangal dogs. Let me try to hold one Kangal dog. Because they are very small and cute, I can hold them. But when you ask me to hold the bigger or the adult ones, that will freak me out. So let me try to hug the little cuties. Only 45 days after born, he's still crazy for food. And let me hold it. Stop eating. Let me hold it first. It's so cute. Please say hi to our viewers. It's a female one, just born, 45 days. And not have a name yet. You can see when it's really small, it's really, really cute, like the pet we have at home. But I can tell you actually it's really, really heaven. Normally, a dog just born 45 days, it's not this heavy. I believe right now the weight can compare to the dogs or the pets we have back home around 2 to 3 years old. They're not really afraid with me. I know it's really eager to eat. Okay, let me set him free and set her free. And eat happily with her friends, and also have 3 male dogs here. But they're from different parents. So I believe these 3 male dogs are from one family. And I believe this one, the one you're just watching, is around 1 or more than 1 month, 1 to 2 months. So you can basically tell the shape or the size. So after 1 year old, the Kangal dog actually already mature enough, so you can really tell by their size. Basically, it's so huge in size. And I have a lot of little ones. You really like camera, right? So we are here. Actually, the altitude is about 1,000 meters. The water already frozen. Actually, this is their drinking water, but I don't know whether they still can drink or not. Right now it's around noon. Actually, it's afternoon. It's 1 o'clock p.m. Right now the temperature is around the 0 degrees Celsius. So the temperature actually here is very, very good for the Kangal dogs. This is the enabling environment for them to show their strong muscles. So they always, this actually, why I say this is a very good environment, because this temperature, no fight. This temperature actually allows them to always stay alert and build very strong muscles. Fight for food. Or 45 days small Kangal is very gentle, but we can tell the elderly one really aggressive. Actually, they are very good friends to humans. I believe they can really easy to tell with the good guys or the bad guys. They are very, very sensitive in this way. Although you think they're aggressive, or you think they're a little bit maybe not easy to access or easy to approach, but actually a well-trained or sorry, just step on a small one, sorry. So like you think they're maybe aggressive or ferocious, but actually they are very friendly to humans, especially to children. Right now you are watching all the little ones. The smallest one just born 45 days ago. So this is a very, very good environment for the Kangal dogs. Okay, we leave them to enjoy their snacks. Now we have a little one here, the one I just stepped on. I'm so sorry. So let's move on to look at others. So let's move on to see the bigger ones. So Mr. Yahin will show me his favorite one. So let's follow Mr. Yahan. This one, that's his favorite one. And the father, so to other Turkey people, actually this is a sad story for him, and they are good friends, as you can tell. And this is a normal practice, hogs. So you can tell right now if the standing still is even taller. I believe Kanhan is around 170 centimeters in height. So you can tell this is a really enormous size of the Kangal dogs. Let me show you one thing. So normally people think like this dog is really aggressive. It's not friendly. So always the pictures online show like when the Kangal standing is over 2 meters. That's a standing height. Actually, that's the misunderstood. Normally, actually, their features it's not enormous size, we can tell actually they are very good in protectiveness. Their size actually is really good for them to be with strong muscles at the chest and also their legs. You can see their leg muscles and the shape. So it's really good for them to be strong and can achieve greater speed and agility. We always talk they are really like the lions. We can tell by the name or by the nicknames. They always can compare the Kangal dogs to lions. So normally when we just talk about this kind of like dogs, it's really aggressive, but we talk about the Tibetan Mastiff. Actually, Tibetan Mastiff just like a small puppy if they stand in front of the Kangal from Turkey. The favorite one of the breeder, I believe this one around 85 centimeters in height. And the staff next to me told me that this one only 6 months old. Just 6 months. Actually, it's not reached the largest size. I think right now it's really, when it's in standing position, the head is quite close to the head of Mr. Yahan. So we talk about if the very adult one, then the standing head will be over 2 meters. So you can feel very close relations. So let me be bold enough to touch the Kangal dog. Let's say hi. So my height is around 160 centimeters. So it actually, I believe this one is not really standing still. But you can see we are quite in the same height. Well, let me hug him. I'm still a little bit afraid. But I can tell you it's so heavy. How heavy it is? 60 kilos. 67. So let me tell you, the 6 months old Kangal, right now the weight is 67 kilograms. You can tell about 1 year old will be another 30 kilograms more. So you can tell it's very heavy. So the name is Brown. So any meaning for the name? It's a big vent. I can tell this one is really friendly. So that's a very historic moment just happened to my life. So I just saw the picture. Actually, I just really said to myself I couldn't be this close to them. And this one, it just had another small puppy just born 1 month ago, but I believe right now it's back to the room. So we will see the baby later. So Mr. Yahan is right now entering to the room to show us the very little baby, because I believe this is the mother. You know, mother always very protective. You can see mother always protect the little ones. Mom is really alert. So you can see the ones, these two just born 1 month ago. So even smaller ones, very, very cute. Just so cute and adorable. So people ask how much they need for the one they just born 1 month. 1 month. So right now only feed mother milk. So right now it's breeding by mother. What about after 1 month? So how much they can eat after 1 month? The month later. So 1 month later they start to eat other food. I believe it's really like other animals. But they will also eat special prepared food. And 1 month later, it will start eat other food. And for one puppy, they can eat around 200 grams per day. They just born 1 month ago, a very, very little one. Let me find, hope you can see the black dot on the face. That's the feature only owned by the Kangal dogs. So these two babies with their mom. A mom will really protect their kids, its kids. Because they're very familiar with, so they're very friendly with us. But you can tell the mom always in alert, very protective. And Mr. Yang Han started to work here from last year. Every morning at 9 o'clock, we'll arrive here and start to feed all the dogs, and also the tea time in the afternoon, and also play with them. He's very, very crazy about dogs. I believe he's actually through his whole life, he really always live with dogs, and right now he also have one Kangal dog back home. I believe he is the expert in feeding and breeding the Kangal dog. And let's move ahead to look at other Kangal dogs. So let's move on to the other places to see a larger size Kangal dogs, so around 1 to 2 years old Kangals. So after 1 year old, they will bring all these Kangals to this space, so they have enough room for Kangal dogs to run and play. Give them place for free. So you can see they're freely moving themselves. And Mr. Yahan will show us their normal practice, how they interact with each other, so their daily routine. Right now, actually, Kangal dogs in Turkey is also in an endangered status. We need more protection for the Kangal dogs. Right now, they face a difficulty, or the challenge is like for the young generations that all move to the bigger cities for work, for jobs. But right now, they not have a lot of people here, or they really lack of talent to feed Kangal dogs. So actually, the Kangals is used to guardian the livestock, and previously for the wartime, they always as a war dog. So right now, because the industry, the overall industry actually not developed further, we do not need that many Kangal dogs. So we also do not need a lot of the Kangal dogs to safeguard a family or the home. So that is why we not have a lot of need for the industry. That is why the talents, or let's say the young generations, they not really want to do the job as a Kangal dog breeder or feeders. You always can find a full blood or purebred Kangal dogs here. This is the homeland of Kangal dog. And it's also named by this place. So this is the Kangal County. So maybe you have seen some Kangal dogs before in other places, but I believe they are the crossbreeding ones. And back to 11th century, I think their ancestors from the crossbreeding from the one from Turkey and the one from Tibet. And after hundreds of years of development, right now you can see they are the pure blood or the full blood Kangal dogs. You only can find them here, the Kangal dogs here in Turkey. And they always treat it as a hero because before they fight in the war field. And right now, the only here you can find at the plateau because a lot of people use them to safeguard the families and the home. Actually, you can trade the Kangal dogs, but still the usage is not that wide. So right now in Turkey, in order to protect the breed of the Kangal dogs, right now they banned international trade because they always consider the Kangal dog as their national treasure. You can consider the Kangal dog to panda. Always can be an envoy of friendship between other Turkey and other countries. And actually, the Kangal dogs has been given to other countries as a state gift 12 times. And the first Kangal dog sent to Elizabeth, Queen Elizabeth, back to 1992. And Mr. Yahan right now is giving some snacks to the adult Kangal dogs. Right now you can see they are around 1 to 3 years old. The very strong one, I believe, is around 3 years old. And this is the mature or the adult male, and also very good time for them to multiple the next generations. We cannot really come in because they are really aggressive, because Yahan really with them every day. So I believe they have a very close relations. And right now I believe Yahan will lead a team of Kangal dogs for running. And the best mating time for the Kangal dog is around 3 years old. So time for them to come out and move, do some exercise. And this one name is Pasha. And actually it's a very high title in the previous Ottoman Empire. And you can see right now is their daily routine. They do some daily exercise. So Mr. Yahan bring Pasha to their parents. And you can see at the other place, actually, we have a lot of Kangal dogs live in pairs because for them it's the time for mating. And I hope you can see whether because when they meet each other or the adult male Kangal dogs meet each other, you can maybe a little bit fight. Hope you can see that. And the Turkey armies, I do also want to use the Kangal dogs for them to safeguard the territory. And right now they also apply that to the national government. So from the ancient time to now, we can see the Turkey people always proud of the Kangal dog and always consider the Kangal dog as a part of their historic heritage. And you can see they are in pairs. Why? Because it's time for them to mating. And the first two you can see right now, I believe they are the largest ones. They are very ferocious. I'll give you a closer look. No matter it's male or female Kangal dogs, you always can find on their face the black dot. Always remember, if you can find the black dot on the dog's face, that's maybe, or let's say that must be the Kangal dogs. Let's look at their legs. You can tell their muscles. It's really, really strong. Always can allow them to reach a greater speed and a very agility. You can tell from their chest. You can see the very strong muscle on the chest. And you can see their legs. You can see actually they always work in unity if they find some intruders. If one dog yells, then the others will start to yell together. That's the good feature owned by the war dogs. You can see they're keeping barking. So right now on the left-hand side, you see that's the dogs here for mating. And for our viewers, if you have any questions or comments, please leave on your favorite social media platform. And Mr. Yahan right now is running with Anxia. And we're just tuning in. We are bringing you the live stream from Turkey, and we show you the biggest dog called the Kangal dog, the Tibetan Mastiff. Massive, you can see maybe that's the most ferocious ones, but actually if you bring the Tibetan Mastiff in front of the Kangal dogs, they will be like a very quiet baby. So we always compare the Kangal dog to lions or tigers. They are very aggressive and ferocious. So never compare the Tibetan Mastiff to the Kangal dog. You cannot compare them. They are not at the same level. And actually people saying that because of, yes, it's very tall as you see from the pictures online, but the best traits of Kangal dog is like they are very strong and brave as a war dog. So you can tell from their muscles. Actually, their very strong muscles always allowing them to reach a greater speed and very agility. So we always consider that they are the national treasure or the national hero. And we always call them the Plateau lions. So we have a question from our viewer. So like compared to the dog from Russia, Caucasus Plateau, the Caucasian near Russia, they have dog in a very big size, but compared to our cargo dog, who is bigger. So compared to the dogs from Russia, actually in size, they are more or less the same. And for adult Kangals, the weight can reach around 90 kilos. So for the adult Kangal dog, the weight can range from 90 to 100 kilos. So the adult one, we have another question. So this one worth $1,500 or 5,000 euros. So the question is about how much of an adult Kangal dog, actually from 1,500 to 15,000 local currencies. And if to convert to the RMB, that will be 10,000 to 30,000 RMB. That's the price for adult Kangal dog. So you talk about even better quality or even pure bred or the full blood breed, then the price will be even higher. And right now it's only allowed to trade the Kangal dog in Turkey. The international trade already banned it. So the Kangal dog still needed for the plateau areas in Turkey, and we still need that to do the livestock guardians. So we still need it for shepherd, but still people right now changing their life behavior. So we bring the Kangal dog as the pet, but still in a very, very small quantity. Still in the end, if you bring that home to safeguard your home, if you live in a city, then you just basically trap them in a very small space area. But for the Kangal dog in nature, they really need a big space. That's also, you can see here, we always let the Kangal dog live in a larger space. So still in the end, if you want to have one at home, it's not really possible. Or let's say it's not really good for the breed of Kangal dog.
这个小房子。
Cleaning the cage.
OK，
It's good.
我们现在呢，在跟着雅汉呢，可以走到那边，来了解一下雅汉平时呢都是怎么来照顾这些坎高犬的。那其实照顾这些坎高犬呢，还是需要，一个是需要勇气，一个也是需要一些技巧。Taking care of the Kangal, what do they have to take care of? Especially.
So we come have another questions. What special care we need to perform on the Kangal dogs?
They are very fragile. They shouldn't play. They are giving some documents. İçine giriyor musun? Normal işini yapacağım. Normal yok. Those are not like ordinary dogs, like terrier or they don't like to play on the hard. Understand?
So we're asking the question what special cares we need to do for the Kangal dogs.
Taking care of them, what?
Büyüyünce nasıl ne yapmalı?
Because for the very small ones, the small puppies, we need to be really, really careful because they are very fragile. And people always saying like what's the big difference between Tibetan Mastiff and the Kangal dog. For the actually, if you bring the Tibetan Mastiff in front of the Kangal dog, you will see exactly what is sack killing. Still back to the questions, actually, if for the small puppies, for the small dogs, actually, they are very, very fragile. You should be really, really careful. And for the adult ones, you should let them do some exercise. But still need to keep distance, especially with the adult ones, because they still be vicious time to time. So it's not really an ideal pet at home. Because in nature, they really love freedom. So they see right now we cave them here because it's time for them to mating. But still in the end, you can see the space is really, really huge because by nature, the Kangal dog really love the enormous big space. They like to run, to jump freely. And we can see actually sometimes we can see the people, the Turkish people come here to select the one they would like to bring back to the farm. And we also can see this is a Kangal dog base here at the hometown or the homeland of Kangal dog.
They are fighting each other. Not they don't fight.
So for the Kangal dogs, they not really attack human. They just fight between each other. The Kangal dog keepers actually always in alert. Still in the end, we still consider the Kangal dogs as the ferocious dogs. So still you really be careful. Be careful for the daily practice. They not really attacked human beings, but you still can see a lot of fights between each others. And they're very close to the children, to the kids. So they're really friendly to the children. So though people always consider it's a very aggressive or the very vicious dog, still in the end, the Kangal dog is very friendly with visitors and especially children.
在这个坎高镇呢，有一些坎高犬甚至家里面饲养的坎高，
And also as the staff introduced, the Kangal dog
然后呢再跟着小孩一起回家。
also accompany the children go to school and back home. So you can see this is a very close relations. The one of Kangal dog, the owner passed away.
然后这个坎高犬也是非常忠诚的一种动物哈。刚才那个饲养员就告诉我一个故事，就是当
So that's a very touch story. The Kangal dog is really loyal. So the owner, one of the owner
坎高犬就一直到它，
of the Kangal dog passed away. The
其实这也让我想起了
Kangal dog
罢工的那个，
always stay
也是等着期盼着这个主人哈有一天会回来，所以我们也能够感觉到坎高犬。
at the graveyard of the owner. I think we have a more or less a similar story in Japan.
他们
It's a very touching story.
他们会试着来
So we can tell the Kangal dog is very protectiveness, loyalty,
可以停留一下。
and gentleness. If you're just tuning in, please stay with us. We will show you a very
激烈的状态会是一种什么样的状态？但是呢，他们应该是会和
important moment right now, I believe, time to fight. But I believe they just bark to each other.
he will let you know no.
So they will see each other face to face or just bark to each other.
你看看那个在试图的来挑衅一下，你看这个反，哎呦哎呦哎。
So let's see this. Time to fight. Ready in position.
是还好，主要是这个下来，不然的话这两只狗肯定都已经
So I think it's okay. We'll try to provoke each other to anger, but I think it's okay.
但是最大众化的颜色呢，就是这种浅棕色。那有一个
So the color actually here is indifferent, but you can see the majority in the light brown, some in a dark color, in the sable color, but still the majority is the colors right now you are seeing. The good thing is that we have fence between each other, otherwise you will see they're just bat each other. So you are seeing the adult ones, they're the adult Kangal dogs. So the pair in the cave, they are one male, one female because they are at the good age for mating. They just provoke each other to anger.
大家听一下它们从背部发出的这种吼叫声。
Can hear their barking.
但是确实，这些坎高狗对人都其实是没有太多的这种敌意的，主要还是动物。
But Kangal actually not the enemy to human being. They not attack human being. They're very, very friendly with people, especially to children. Still in the end, here is a breeding center. So actually in Turkey, it's not allowed the dogs to fight. So that is why you see we not really allow the dog outside to come into the cave. The most fierce thing right now you are seeing is they bark into each other. They try to make each other anger. They try really hard to bark into each other, but this is the most aggressive thing you can see here. The Turkish Kangal Dog actually is the world's biggest dog and always considered as a national treasure and has been given to many other countries as a state gift. And back to 2012, actually also have a breed of Kangal Dog in Guangdong province. So we have association in Turkey, and they always have the annual summit of Kangal Dog here in Turkey. They really have a very good communication and discussion about the development of Kangal dogs. Actually, it's only allowed to trade Kangal dogs in Turkey. It's not allowed to do that international trade. So we only can through the association of Kangal dogs to know more information about this biggest dog in the world. And for our live stream right now coming to the end, thank you very much, Mr. Yahan, to accompany with us to show the Kangal dogs and also their interactions. And hope you have more knowledge about this biggest dog. Actually, for myself, after I came to Turkey, it's my first time to know exactly this is the biggest one because I'm also a dog lover. But actually, when I see the pictures first online, I'm so frightened out because I believe they're really aggressive and vicious. But when I came here, I see they're actually very friendly because they are very gentle, to be frank. And this year, CCTV and the CGTN will celebrate the Year of Dog. We will bring you more programs related to dogs. So during the Chinese New Year, please tune in, stay with us with CCTV and CGTN. We will bring you more programs related to dogs to share with you more the stories of dogs, to show you all the different kinds of breeds or species of dogs around the world. So you will know more stories, know the traits of the dogs, and to celebrate the Year of Dog. And here come to the end of our program. Thank you very much for watching.